Good morning students. Today we discuss about the topic respiratory volumes and capacities. Okay. Here tidal volume, inspired reserve volume and expiratory reserve volume and residual volume. First tidal volume. In this what is tidal volume? Here the volume of air, the volume of air inspired or expired in normal inhalation or exhalation is called tidal volume. Means how much volume we are inhaling or exhaling during normal breathing, normal inhalation or exhalation, that is called tidal volume. It should be approximately 500 ml. It should be 500 ml. Normally we know that a healthy person breathes 12 to 16 times per minute. Okay, how many times he will breathe? 12 to 16 times. Okay, here per minute, here 500 into 12, 6000, or 500 into 16, 8000. Means the tidal volume should be in the healthy person, that should be 6000 to 8000 ml per minute. Okay, and next inspired reserve volume. Inspired reserve volume means addition of this tidal volume plus by forced inspiration. Here it is inspiration, forced inspiration, inspiratory volume of air is called inspired reserve volume. Okay, addition of this tidal volume and also by forced inspiration. If we take forcibly, that is the forced inspiratory volume of air is called inspired reserve volume. That should be 2500 to 3000 ml. And next expiratory reserve volume. Here it is addition of this addition of tidal volume plus forced exhaled air, that is called expiratory reserve volume. That should be 1000 to 1100 ml. And next residual volume. Here it is after forced expiration, the volume remaining in the lungs, that is called residual volume. Means in the after forced expiration also some of the air is present in the lungs, that is the residual volume. After forced expiration, the volume of air in lungs, present in the lungs, is called residual volume. That should be 1100 to 1200 ml. Now inspiratory capacity. Okay, here total volume of air a person can inhale after normal expiration. After normal expiration is called inspiratory capacity. Means after normal expiration, how much volume of air a person can inhale, that is the inspiratory capacity. It tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume is equal to IC, inspiratory capacity. That should be 3000 to 3500 ml. And next, functional residual capacity. What is that? The volume of air that remains in the lungs. The volume of air that remains in the lungs after normal expiration. After normal expiration, how much volume of air is present in the lungs? That is called functional residual capacity. It should be ERV. ERV means expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume. And next, vital capacity. Vital capacity, it is the maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after forced expiration. Okay, how much maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after forced expiration, that is the vital capacity, or it is also called as maximum volume of air a person breathe out after forced inspiration. Forced inspiration is called vital capacity. That should be ERV, means ERV plus tidal volume plus IRV. Expiratory reserve volume, tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. That is the vital capacity. And next, total lung capacity. Here the total volume of air in the lungs at the end of forced inspiration. After forced inspiration, how much air is present in the lungs? How much means by force we are inhaling. After end of forced inspiration, how much air is present in the lungs? That volume is called total lung capacity. That should be RV or VC. Means RV means residual volume and vital capacity, or it is also called as expiratory reserve volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume plus residual volume. Exchange of gases. Here mainly in the alveoli, in the lungs that contain the alveoli, that are air sacs. Okay, in them they are called primary sites of exchange of gases. Means in the lungs they contain the alveoli, that are the main primary sites of exchange of gases in the lungs. Okay, and also here the exchange of gases occurs between blood and tissues also. Okay, not only in the lungs, in the tissues, when the capillaries are entered into the tissues, in the tissues and in the tissues, between the tissues and blood also, the exchange of gases will occurs. And here O2, oxygen and carbon dioxide, are exchanged by simple diffusion. Means in them the concentration, simple diffusion means from higher concentration to lower concentration will pass. Means here the oxygen and carbon dioxide, they are exchanged based on the simple diffusion, means based on the gradient. Okay, they are means a pressure difference in them. So because of that oxygen and carbon dioxide, they exchanged. And next here mainly the exchange of gases based on some factors, means exchange of gases will occur in the lungs and in the tissues also, but some factors are based on that. Some factors, what are they? Partial pressure, or that is also called as a concentrated gradient of gases. And next, solubility of the gases. And next, thickness of the inspiratory membrane and surface area, distance of diffusion. Means here partial pressure. What is partial pressure? Partial pressure means the pressure contributed by an individual gas in the mixture of gases. Means in the whole mixture of gases, so many gases are present. Here the individual gas, how much pressure is that is contributing, that is called partial pressure. Okay, means oxygen contain a different partial pressure and carbon dioxide that contain different partial pressure. Means what is that? The pressure contributed by an individual gas in a mixture of gases that is called partial pressure. That is mentioned as a PO2 for the oxygen and PCO2 for the carbon dioxide. Means these are the five factors. Based on that, based on these factors, exchange of gases will occur. Means partial pressure or concentration of gases. And next, solubility of CO2, and CO2 is 20 to 25 times than that of oxygen. Means in the solubility of CO2 is more than that of oxygen. How much? 20 to 25 times. Okay, so that exchange of gases will based on that solubility of oxygen and carbon dioxide. And next, the diffusion membrane. The diffusion membrane means the thickness. Well, the thickness also depend on the exchange of gases. Na? Okay, here the diffusion membrane here made up of three layers. What are they? Thin squamous epithelium of alveolar wall. Okay, and next endothelium of alveolar wall and endothelium of the alveolar capillaries. Okay, here these are three layers. Based on these three membranes, that is also membrane thickness is the factor of exchange of gases. Here it is in this picture, it is the alveoli. It is the alveolar cavity. Okay, it contain the thick valve. It is a one-celled thick valve. Okay, it is a thick wall. And next, here it is the blood capillaries. Okay, in them the RBC are present. Means here in this it is very thin border. It is favorable for diffusion of gases because of this membrane. Here basement membrane is there. Okay, basement materials are there in between them. So that are that are favorable for the diffusion of carbon dioxide and oxygen gases. Means in them it is the alveolar wall. Between them these contain the basement materials. These are favorable for the exchange of gas. In this, from alveoli to body tissues, how the exchange of gases is occurring, we can see in this. Okay, here in the alveoli, the PO2 means a partial pressure of oxygen is 104 mmHg and the carbon dioxide partial pressure is 40 mmHg. Okay, in this the in the alveolar air that contain the difference in the partial pressure. So here in this oxygen is entering into the pulmonary vein. Means oxygenated blood is supplying to the pulmonary vein, and here in this opposite way that it is passing from the opposite way. And here in the pulmonary gases, in the pulmonary exchange is called external respiration. In them the differences in PCO2 means partial pressure of carbon dioxide and partial pressure of oxygen, that makes the in the alveolar air and pulmonary capillaries. It is the pulmonary here in them pulmonary capillaries are there. In between the difference between these pulmonary capillaries and in the alveolar air, they makes the diffusion of oxygen. Means oxygen is easily diffusible to through these capillaries. Okay, diffusion of oxygen from alveoli to pulmonary capillaries. Okay, whereas CO2 is opposite direction. Means oxygen is easily diffusible through this from alveolar air to this pulmonary vein. But here the carbon dioxide is not less than that diffusible. So it is goes to the opposite direction. And in the systemic gas exchange, okay, in the systemic gas exchange, it is also called as internal respiration. Means that oxygenated blood is supplying to different main parts of our body into the tissues. And in the heart and in other tissues. Okay, here the differences in PCO2 and PO2 of oxygenated blood. In them also it is oxygenated blood and this side is the deoxygenated blood. In them, difference between the oxygen and carbon dioxide partial pressure, that is making oxygenated blood is in the systemic arteries, systemic capillaries, in this systemic side, that is easily entering into the tissues. Okay, here means because of oxygenated partial pressure is more, it is easily diffusible to the different parts and oxygen is supplying to the tissues. But whereas this carbon dioxide is in opposite direction from the tissues, that is going to the systemic veins. This is deoxygenated blood going to in this way and through this heart, and also this going to the pulmonary artery, and that is going to the alveoli.